How
it's
hard
different.
is it to actually maintain that voice when you're recording? Does it get like exhausting at the end of it?
It can get tired if you're doing more than one episode and you've got a lot of lines, then it can get pretty tiring, especially if it's one of those episodes with a lot of like battling, because that's the most difficult thing. It's probably just like all of the screaming out all the commands, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And the attacks. It can be pretty strenuous, but maintaining the voice just at a normal kind of talking level is. I feel like I've gotten pretty used to it. You kind of exercise the vocal cords long enough.
Do you sometimes wish that they'll age Dan Kouzo up so that you don't have to keep continuing the high voice? Like they'll age the characters up and
I've thought about it. I feel like also that would be an interesting direction to take the show. But also it would be very funny if Dan Kouzo just woke up one morning and was like, "Why is my talking like this?"
Every high schooler.
He's like 50-year-old man. Yeah, but I feel like that would be cool. Yeah, having a older Dan, kind of like in the old show. But I feel like this young Dan is also it also has a lot of potential for stories and plot lines. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Do you want to know more about Jonah Wineberg, the voice of Dan Kouzo? Check out the full episode of the BakuTalking Longer podcast right now.